spent a little bit too long on my phone this morning, which obviously, you know, not ideal, but I mean, the gym didn't open till 7 today, so that was kind of ringing in the back of my mind, where it's like, you know, you don't have to get up. And every time I'm busy, like, and I can't, you know, if I get pulled out of my routine, like, it's crazy how much just getting up early and just seeing the sun like this in the morning, the peace, being by yourself, just seeing this, and it just puts me in like such a better mood to start the day. And it's crazy. It's just like when I know that I'm waking up early and I'm sticking to my routine, it just immediately sets up the day to be just that much better. And it's so hard to kind of feel good otherwise, which maybe is a bad thing, but I don't know. Beautiful sky, look at that. All right, gym's all wrapped up. Woke up at like 193 pounds today, which is heavy for me. So I'm this next like month, I'm gonna go pretty hard on dieting, cardio every day. I know I said before I was gonna do cardio 30 minutes every day, and it's so like 30 minutes is nothing. So I'm gonna stick to that no matter what, like screw it. So today was the first day of that, and I'm just gonna go grab some yogurt and granola, and I don't know, just to make some yogurt bowls. Are pretty damn good. So don't know how many of you guys are gym people, but this tied with this with like berries, frozen berries, you can literally get like an insane amount of food for like such low calories, and it's insane how good it tastes. So if you guys are into the gym, there's a little tip for you. See, there's just something about waking up, like it's not even 9. I mean, it is relatively late compared to the weekdays that I usually wake up at, but it's not even 9 a.m. Like, been to the gym, been like got some groceries, and then now it's like you just set the pace for the rest of the day, and like you're at such a high after doing stuff so early. So it's like, if it's so important to me, if I can start my day right, the rest of the day is usually pretty good. So but it's just crazy, just such a good feeling when you get up early, get some stuff done, and then now the rest of the day can just be spent to just get some work done, you know? Okay, so I got pretty much the notifications pretty much wrapped up. I made it its own page because I'm thinking I want to include reminders in here too eventually, so that's going to take up some space, but also with the popover, like how I had it before, with like when this changes sizes, like the position of the popover is all over the place and it wasn't consistently flush with that. And I had it up here, right, which I think worked perfectly fine, like the little inbox button right there. But then when it's in this view, you can't get to it. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it its own page. And it works out better because when I add the reminders, I'll be able to put it on the same page. So, and I also changed it to do like, it'll show these notifications for, I don't have a retention yet. You can't really delete them. So I'm gonna have to add that in. But basically how it works now, instead of just today and tomorrow, you'll get notified for when assignments are a week in advance, 3 days, and then if it's due tomorrow. And then that will generate the notifications. But then they will stay here until like you're cleared or you clear them. So, and then eventually I want to add an email notification too. I'm going to start simple with this and then push that out. But then eventually I think it'd be good to at least give the option to get email notifications as well, because like that'd be super handy with due dates. And then next I'm gonna look into, it's gonna be really fun next because I'm gonna look into, I'll probably start simple with the notes, converting notes into like quizzes or summarizing notes or something like that. But I also want to look into like the vector stores and getting the like inference based on your notes on the assignment sort of thing. That's gonna take quite a long time, but I want to at least start getting familiar with it. So yeah, next couple weeks should be pretty interesting. All right, I just picked up a couple of these journals. It came in a pack of 2 for like 20 bucks. It wasn't bad at all, but basically cause I was using like those big regular notebooks before where it was like just so big, and it's like I didn't like writing. It was just too massive to carry around. And then I wanted like a proper journal. Basically what I'm gonna start doing is, I saw this on YouTube too, like obviously I just have what it is now, November, 23 years old, whatever, to whenever I fill up the book. But what he did was he had pretty much like some little stickers that had like his age. Like, so he had like 7 of them from like 20 to like 27. And then so each book is like a year of his life where he can like go back and look through kind of what his days were like, what was on his mind, that kind of thing. The only downside is it's like 160 pages, which obviously if you wanted to do it daily, that'd be like 2 books, so over 2 books. So that's why I'm just gonna kind of keep the month right there at the start. But I also want to keep a page, because before with my other one, I would just kind of write daily, but there'd be no kind of overview of, like, you'd have to go through day by day, which isn't bad. But I have a page now where it's pretty much just for the month, and then I might put a sticky note on every month page so I can come and skip through and just look at the months and kind of get an overview of, like, I have like my priorities for the month, or like just in life right now what I'm focusing on, and then some stats of like just things that, like, YouTube subscribers, revenue, even my weight, like just things like that, so I can kind of come in and look at the month and kind of get a quick glimpse. And then you go through the days, right? And I think it would be great too to start filling these up and then have, like, years down the line, like you literally have, you can look back and see everything that was on your mind to, like, down to the T, right? Like, and it just, yeah, it's almost like documenting, right? But it's like just more into the mind, which I think would be, you won't regret having that. So next I'm working on the AI note summarization. I'm thinking all I'm gonna do is have a button up here that just says like generate summary, and then I'm gonna use like the Shadcn drawer. Where's the example? Not from the bottom though, from the side, and just have that off to the side of the summary. I think that's like the easiest way. I was going to have it to where, say if you have the button, you click generate summary, and then it would know if you have a summary or not. So then you have a view button, view summary button, and then it toggles this with the summary. But honestly, I think the drawer works better because then you can still see the full note, and then you get the summary in the drawer panel here. And then in that drawer will also be a button to like regenerate it, because say if you have the note, you make a summary on it, and then you make changes to the note, like I don't want to have to kind of automatically regenerate it. Maybe that could be a thing I do, but it would just be pretty expensive, especially if you don't really want to summarize it every single time. So then the drawer would swipe out and you can just regenerate it based on the new text. But there's a couple things. I want to limit it to 2 summaries per month for the free tier, and then I'll limit it for pro users. And then, yeah, really long notes is something that I have to kind of think of too, because if you have a super long note, like, do you have to break it up? Because I'm pretty sure there's a limit of how many tokens you can put into a prompt, right? With OpenAI. So I don't know if you have to split it up and do multiple queries and then join the results at the end. Like, I don't know. And then the limiting to 2 summaries per month, pretty simple. I think I'm just going to keep track of it in like a field, and then run a cron job to reset it every month. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it. That honestly won't be too hard. And then just, do some checks and verification before allowing the summary request to be made. And that shouldn't be too bad. Honestly, this whole feature shouldn't even take too long. Like, my goal is, it's Monday right now. My goal is to finish this by, honestly, tomorrow. Like, if I can get it done by tomorrow, that would be great. And then after that, I might do either the quizzes or PDF summaries, which again will be something completely interesting. But I think PDF summaries will be completely pro, because I think when you do PDFs, I think it's a little bit more expensive, but that I have to look into it as well, so I don't know yet. But before I do anything of that, I already did like a little bit of work this morning, but I'm gonna get my cardio in now. I was gonna wait, honestly, until later on, but I want to just get it over with and then do it now, start the day off with it. I think doing that every single day, like, the longer you wait to do something that you don't necessarily love to do, it just gets, like, it's so much harder to do it eventually. So, or if you wait. So let's jump on the treadmill for just a brisk 30-minute incline walk. That's all I'm gonna do. Throw a podcast on, Okay, yesterday, I was looking through my just Snapchat memories, 1 year ago today, 2 years ago today. And it's crazy how, even in the past video, I said, 1 year's a lot of time. It is a lot of time, don't get me wrong. But looking back at those memories, like, I can vividly remember being in that exact position a year ago. And it's crazy to think, even New Year's, if you think back to New Year's, how fast that went. And we're already about to have another one. And it's just crazy because the older you get, the faster the time goes. And it's just every year it just seems like it's going to keep getting faster, and I don't want that to happen anymore. Like I want to look back next year and see, wow, there was actually a huge change. Like I want to make this year kind of count. And I know a lot of people say that and it sounds cringe, but it really is so easy to let it slip by, and then next thing you know, you're in the exact same position or barely anything's changed, right? And I don't want that to happen. And I think that's why, journaling every day, writing those future me letters or emails, like those kind of help, because if it's journaling every day, you're kind of, every time you journal it, like in the morning, you're pretty much reflecting on that day, or talking about what's happening now, right? And then even looking back, you can see kind of every day what you were doing, what was on your mind. And it kind of helps at least feel like the time is spreading out, because you're almost like forcing yourself to be present every single day and like making note of it. But yeah, it's just, if you have Snapchat, or go through your photos, go through around last year, it's crazy how it will feel like it was just yesterday. Like it's a mix for me. I feel like it was just yesterday, but then I also feel like there has been a long time. Like a lot of stuff has happened after that. But just to think that it can just go by just that fast every single year, I really want to use that as motivation to not let another year just go by, and that's why I'm almost want to almost track a lot of things, and then when I look back on them, I'll have like kind of pure metrics to look at, and then just to see how the year's changed. But yeah, it's crazy. Don't let another year slip by. Whatever you say you're gonna do, stick to it, and just see where you'll be next year. I think the best motivation you can have, or the best way to get motivation, is to just ask yourself, do you still want to be in the exact same position next year, right? Because just looking back at those memories is proof that if you weren't really consistent with things, there probably wasn't much change between the years, right? So staying consistent for 1 year, I just really want to see, and I'm very positive that it will be a huge transformation from now to next year. So yeah, don't let it be a repeat. Also, just a little insight of this, is like right after I recorded that clip, but basically, like, I don't feel like doing any work today. Like, honestly, I know what I have to do. It's not like it's that difficult, but it's just one of those days where I don't really have a lot of motivation. But like I said in the last clip there, it's like, it doesn't even matter at that point. Like, what I find is, if I'm not feeling I have motivation, just doing it, just jumping in and doing it for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, just makes you feel, it just helps you get over that initial hump. And then after that, you pretty much feel great. The rest of that's all you need, is just to get over that initial barrier. So yeah. And like I said, there's no point, like, okay, I can not do anything, but if I don't do anything, I'm going to end up in the exact same position next year. So, it's just all about what can you do now. And if you're not feeling like doing it now, and it happens quite a lot, you have to do it anyways. So if you think that, there's something wrong, that you don't have motivation to work, or even when you realize the excitement's dying, it's normal. That the excitement dies down. Like, it's not going to feel as exciting as it does, or as it did when you first started it. It just won't. So, but all that matters is you at least do a little bit, and try to do like a little more every single day, right? And stacking that over a year will add up, versus if you concede to it and let the lack of motivation kind of drive your actions, then you'll be in the exact same position next year. So okay, a little update. Honestly, my brain's pretty fried right now, but basically this is my note here. Then I have a button for summarize that opens up this drawer, and I still have to do like cleaning up. That's like template shit. But then you click generate, and I got it to, it streams, right? So there it is. It's summarizing it and it's streaming it. And now I just need to figure out how to grab that response and show it here. Pretty much like, give that streaming effect. But the way I'm doing it, it's a little confusing now, because I wanted to do, like, I have this external query here, and it's pretty long. Basically, all it's doing is checking the tier of the user. Then it checks their summary usage to make sure that they're not over the usage for the month. And then it calls the edge function, and then based on that, this is the stuff that I don't really understand. I got it from like a Reddit post, so I'm still trying to really understand this, but I think this is what I'm messing up with, or what's not working, because I don't know, it's just not processing this properly, and then not setting the partial, like it's not setting like this callback properly, which is then linked to right here. So it's not even, summary is always empty. So I think that's something I have to look into more. I just need to understand it. I've honestly never done this before. Like pass a callback through there and then have this. I don't know. I think something's messing up here, but there's nothing. This isn't even logging out. This is all new to me to get it to stream. I wasn't going to do the streaming, but I think the summary makes sense to have it streamed. Just like, why not? That's just a bonus. So yeah, anyways, gonna sleep on that tonight, and then the goal for tomorrow is to finish that up and set up the cron job to reset the summary count, and then that's pretty much it. And then polish the UI, do some testing, and then that should be good to go. Tomorrow, if not tomorrow, then Wednesday for sure, easily. So all right, welcome back to another day. I did finish up, so I'm just using this note as an example, but basically now there's this summarize button here, and this is kind of the flyout that I'm using. I'm still kind of deciding whether I want it to just be like a pane that pushes everything over, but like I feel like there's already so many, especially on the notes tab, there's already so many like columns that would have to collapse, and like it might get complicated. So right now I just have it like this as an overlay. And then I still have to finish like the animations, but you click generate and then it starts generating you a summary of the notes. And there's a copy button here, which is something that I'm still trying to figure out, because basically just, you know, gives you a summary, which is good. But I'm thinking now, like if you have the summary here, is it good enough to just quickly, like I'm trying to think of it from a learning point of view. Would it be good to quickly see it here, or would you want to be able to add it to something, maybe create a new note of the summary, or like just have it more accessible than, because you have to go to the note, view the summary, which like I guess isn't bad if you want to just quickly summarize something and kind of get the gist of it. So I might just leave it as is for now, because I was starting to implement the copy button, right? And it works, you copy it, but then when you paste it, it shows up like this, which is a problem with the editor that I'm using. So I don't know if there's a way to listen for pastes, and then there's a way I can take the markdown and convert it into blocks and then update it or paste it like that. I don't know if that's even possible, but if that's not gonna work, because even still, like it would be nice to have copy and pasting work with markdown, which I think that's what was brought up before from somebody, and I just thought it worked, because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but this doesn't, so I'm not sure. I'm debating switching to TipTap, which is, I think blocknote's built on top of TipTap, but now that I think about it, like there's just so much more. Like blocknote's just a little bit behind, and even just with AI completion and PDFs, and like TipTap has so much more to offer. I hate saying that, TipTap, what a dumb name, but but yeah, that's the last thing I really want to do, is implement a whole new editor. I mean, yeah, because then I don't know how, they probably do handle the data the same way, so like it should work properly. Maybe it's just as easy as changing the instance, but that's something I'll look into down the line. But I want to start looking into seeing if this should work. You know, like I should be able to copy and paste Markdown and it should work. I don't know why it doesn't, because I use other Markdown editors online and it works fine. But yeah, so between that and keeping these summaries, like I'm trying to make it as useful as possible, right? So I'm just thinking, as a use case, would it be good to still just have the summary at a glance rather than actually use the summary? Because I'm thinking, if I have a long note, I want to summarize it, I either want to just get a quick understanding of what I'm reading, or I want to use that as the study guide, right? So you don't want to look through a whole note, just use the note, or just use the summary as what you want to look at. And if that's the case, I think having some option to either save it as a note, as like a summary, or being able to copy it and add it wherever would be a good option. But I don't know. I'll have to dwell on that a bit, and I'll look into it. But yeah, that's the update for right now. Okay, after a little bit of contemplation, I've decided this summary pane here, because it doesn't look like it's the focus, right? Like, I think it messes with the workflow. So I think what I'm gonna do, and I don't know how hard it shouldn't be too difficult because the pane system is just gonna be on this page, I think. But it's gonna be a pane. So it's gonna squish some things. So I still have to see like kind of what we're playing with a room. But I think that makes sense to kind of have the pane open up. You have the summary on the side, and at that point, it'll be easy to transition into like a chat to the document and have that kind of on the pane while you can still see your note in the side, still navigate to wherever you want while having the pane system. I think that honestly is the best way from like a workflow point of view. And so yeah, that's going to be the next thing I implement. I don't know. I'm going to try to get it done today. It's 4 p.m., but I got to do a whole bunch of stuff until I can work on it. But I think there's already a ton of clips for this video. So if I have an update on this pane system, I'll update you. But if I don't, I'm going to end the video here. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for making it this far. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for episode number 17, I guess it is. So that's crazy, 17 weeks. All right, I lied. So here's an update on the pane system. Very basic right now. It's just using the resizable stuff. There's a max on the note and then min there. I might get rid of some padding to clean it up. The one thing I'm noticing, there's just a toggle here, toggle it on and off. The one thing I'm noticing though is it's starting to get a little busy. Like let's say, you know, you have everything open, like it pretty much, it crams things quite a bit. So I'm not sure, like I don't know, it almost is getting rid of that minimalistic look with all these panes. So I want to figure out, I don't know if if it's going to be something to do with changing the nav bar or maybe this a little bit. I don't know. I might have to do some more thinking, or maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe that's okay, because you have the option to clean everything up. So I don't know, but yeah, so this is I still have to make sure it saves and everything and get everything pulling in properly, but this is going to be the starting point, and then I'll tweak as I go, I guess. But yeah. And now for real this time. See you guys next week.